All right, welcome everyone. This is our first Creative Soul Society exhibit, and I am so honored to be able to curate this beautiful show that is all about healing through creativity. And so this was an open call for all artists, whether you're in the Creative Soul Society membership or if you're just an artist and you really feel that connection with your art, that you use it as a way to express yourself through healing. This is an opportunity, to be able to share that. So I'm just really excited for those of you who chose to participate, chose to submit some artwork. I know that everyone is coming from being, whether you're a prolific artist, meaning like you make a lot of artwork, or there's some artists that are just starting out, that they feel like they're amateurs. That's okay. It doesn't matter where you're at in this process. It was more about just being able to connect to that healing component. So part of this work that I was looking at, I feel like all the work is very nurturing. I feel like our as artists, like part of our work in the world is to express ourselves, right? And as we do that, it inspires others, and they can see the power of art and how it can be uplifting and healing and nurturing for the soul. So I'm hoping that all of you, my intention is to share this work with you and that you will feel inspired as well. Just to let you know, part of this exhibit is going to be going on my YouTube channel, which is Leah Guzman Art, and it will be on the Creative Soul Society website. So if you want to share with friends, you're welcome to share those channels with them so they can see the work, because it is a collection of figurative, modern, abstract. We have a lot of different genres here. So that'll be up for like a month. And some of this work is actually for sale as well. So if you see a piece of work or you want to share this art with someone, please do so. And you can always contact me and I can hook you up with the person so that they can sell their work. So if you are interested in a piece of work. So just to let you know a little bit more about the Creative Soul Society membership, we are a group of collective creatives, and we gather online to make art. Some of it is about healing, different aspects of our lives, and some of it is about manifesting, because I really love using art as a tool to manifest. We actually have a meetup next Saturday at 11 a.m. It's going to be about treasure mapping your desire. So that is a manifesting technique of creating a visual about your life and how you're going to map out getting to your desire. Okay, so are you guys ready to see some art? Yes, bring it on. Okay, I'm about ready to show you. One last thing I want to tell you is, my word for the year is ripple effects. So to create that ripple effects today and looking at this show, let's follow each other. So you're going to be seeing some Instagram handles on each person's account. Follow the artist. If you are inspired, if you feel moved by one of these pieces, okay, because like art is so subjective. You might be like, oh, that piece, or you might be like, oh, that piece, right? If you feel moved by it, reach out to the artist and let them know. Okay, let's make that ripple effect that they were seen, that they've been heard, that their art was nurturing, or it did something for you, or you connect to it in some way. Okay, so please, we're going to be just lifting each other up and supporting each other as artists. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I also want to thank Becca. She's been a big help putting this together, Rebecca Bourne. So thank you, Rebecca, for helping me put this show together. All right. So give me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen. All right. Let me just make it big. And can everybody see this? Yes. Okay, perfect. All right. So as I had just welcomed you to the Creative Soul Society art exhibit, this is actually my piece of art of the woman praying. And this is a part of, it was a triptych. And And this is all about being divinely aligned. So this is, she is praying and basically praying for the world, just giving out good energy and praying for everyone. So this is part of my healing practice as well, of creating and just creating, making that that energy that has that ripple effect. So when you look at it, that's what she's just sending you some love. These are the amazing artists. We have 30 amazing artists in here that are going to be exhibiting their work. And this is our first one. This is Anastasia Shurikov, and her artwork, I'm going to just go ahead and read this to you. It's called Step Closer to Love. So painting for me is a magical process, and it's a spiritual practice. It is a connection or a bridge to my soul. This is a moment of presence when I know that I'm a part of the universe, when I feel connected to the divine. Memoirs of Love. For me, the process of creating art is healing by itself. My mind is calm. I feel in the present moment. I feel the brush, the paint, the canvas. I often paint in silence. Then I can hear my mind. Different thoughts come to my mind during painting, and often ones that I hide deep inside. During the painting, I heal myself by calming my mind and bringing myself to inner silence by being in the moment. Sorry, I have to move this little toolbar here. Very similar to my meditation, I heal my mind with painting. The finished painting is as a result of overcoming some struggles, result of the inner work, result of deep connection, and result of being in the moment. People are buying art because they feel connection. I believe we are all connected on deeper levels. Art heals the artist and it heals the collector. So gorgeous work here. And this is her last one here. It says painting for me is it's just connecting to the divine again. So this one's called Connection to the World of Spirits. It's a beautiful work. This is Marta Awanaska, To Find Yourself. Through my painting, I saw my soul clearly. I tangibly show how I felt for most of my life, my confusion in life, my fears, my loneliness gained material form. I understand how dark that time was for me. I do not want to forget it. I want this painting to remind me not to forget myself and my inner self. Wow, so there's a lot of emotion here. Magdalena, are you with us today?
Yes, hi.
Hi, would you like to tell us about your work?
Yes, sure. Hi, nice to meet you all. And I'm very excited to be a part of this exhibition. Thank you. And I came from Poland, but currently I'm living in the Netherlands. So it's pretty late here. It's 10 p.m. Yeah, and art is for me the best medicine and healing tool which I ever experienced. And I often combine it with other activities like intuitive writing, dancing, meditation, and also EFT techniques. I don't know if you know EFT. It's connected with tapping on the different places on your body. And I think when I connect it with other activities, it gives me quicker transformation process, and it gives me also a deeper connection with my emotions and with my soul. Yes, so this painting was created like this. I combined it with these activities, and it was a beginning of my new way as an artist, because I had a big crisis as an artist, as also in the personal life. And this painting I see as a beginning of my new journey, and with more light and with more hope. and it gives me a lot of motivation and energy to work and to create. So I really like it.
Awesome. And we have this piece as well.
Yeah, and this piece was kind of prediction of big changes in my life, and a painful way which I had to experience. And I connected the creation process with EFT then, and it gave me a lot of healing. And it's not for sale because it's very, very important for me to have it, and sometimes to look at it and remember who I am. And yeah, I think it's this. I wanted to say this about these paintings, and maybe I can add that I also meet with other women during online and stationary workshops, and I often connected with astrology. So we meet during new moon or full moon, because in this time there is a special energy. So transformation is more and it's bigger. Yeah. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Magdalena. That was beautiful. I love how you're combining all these different techniques of EFT and astrology and bringing them into your paintings. I could see the portals, most definitely.
Yes. Thank you.
Becca, would you like to talk about your work? You have two pieces here.
Hi, yes, I'm happy to. Thank you very much. And thank you for putting the show together. Really, really great seeing everyone's work. So I, similar to Magdalene, it's intuitively led. So when I start my process, I start off with automatic writing straight onto the canvas. And then I get myself into a meditative sort of state, whether that's through breathing or dancing, usually some sort of form of music or sound. And then I don't know what it is. It's like I'm taken over. It's like whether it's my sort of subconscious, my higher self, it develops from there. So there's no kind of I don't see what's going to be created at the end. It's just I sort of go with it. Where I live, it's in Suffolk in the UK, which is known as Constable Country, and we have big open skies, and I'm very informed, I suppose. I'm near the coast as well, so I'm informed by the skies and the sea here, and I think that on a subconscious level feeds into it. I call them soulscapes rather than landscapes or skyscapes. Yeah, so that's me.
Beautiful. Oh, and this one's ascending. It's a little different. Is this part of the soulscape as well?
Yeah, it is. It is. I kind of I've done sort of a bit of a sort of angelic theme. I see them as angels. Other people see them as other things, but I see them as angels.
Beautiful. Thank you, Becca, for sharing your process. Is Gia Haddad here?
Yes, I'm here.
Wonderful. Would you like to share? You have a few pieces here. I can, if you want to talk about like one and then in the next, or
Yeah.
you want to read. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, hi everyone. I'm joining you from Dubai. It's after 1 a.m. here. So excuse me if I don't make a lot of sense because it's in the middle of the night. What I wanted to say about my work is my process is not very romantic. It's very messy. I think the process of getting messy for me is the catharsis. I get dirty and I throw around paint. And then the fun part is after that paint dries, I get to go in with some oils after that and control it. And for me, that's the way where the healing happens, where the control happens, where you've originally felt you were losing control, you go back and you regain control. And these paintings, I started these pours, these background pours during the pandemic. And it was a time when it felt, I feel, for everyone like we were in water. We were just, different people. Some people were wading water. Some people were facing the waves. Some people were drowning. Some people were just floating or barely floating. And for me, the process of throwing that paint, these pours on this canvas and watching it dry and watching what happened to it, which was really out of my control, was akin to what the humanity was going through. And then when these paints dried, I went back and drew figures on them, hands or faces. And that, for me, reinserted the humanity and the control into that water, that storm we were in. So this kind of describes the paintings that I have in the show today.
Oh, that's beautiful. And I'm curious about this piece. Did you add fabric on top of?
Yes, part of my practice is I work with fabric and paint. This is the only one in this series that has fabric in it. And the reason I add fabric is because I try to reinsert what the Royal Academy of Arts removed in the 17th century, which was all textile art and all needlework. And I'm thinking about it these days, and I'm saying there were countless stories since the 17th century in the canon of Western art that were lost because textile arts and needleworks were not included in high art. So what I'm trying to do now is combining textile and needlework and yarn with paint, and seeing what happens with that, and regaining control of the medium.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Gia. I really appreciate you being here, and you're on the other side of the world.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, Denise Taylor Rinks, are you here? Are you able to talk about your work?
Yes, I'm here.
Wonderful.
Hi, Leah.
Hi. Yeah, you're welcome to either read your statement. I have a few of your pieces here, or you can just do a free flow, however you'd like to.
Okay, that's fine. I'll talk about the pieces here.
Yeah.
I relate to all of these artists thus far, and I'm sure probably everyone in this exhibit, but I so appreciate all the work, and I appreciate you including me in with all of these amazing artists. So I'm in awe of it so far. But with the series, with this painting here, The Angel of Understanding, she was the beginning of this current series that I'm working in right now. She came out of probably just before the pandemic, but she started, I wanted to create something or put a face on love and understanding and acceptance. And she kind of developed out of that cause or that purpose. And the work that I'm doing right now in this series is for human rights, for humanity. Forgive me, but I'm losing my train of thought.
That's okay. I think I could show more of them.
There we go. Okay. In this series, I am using angels and warriors to stand up for a human right that maybe is being is an issue or something that we definitely need to be educated on and that we need to be aware of. And during the pandemic, I reevaluated my work. A lot of things that I did before this was similar to some of the other artists where I lay paint down on the canvas and I pull things out of it. I see faces in it. I get a feeling from that. But with this series, I'm being more specific. I'm doing research and learning about things that that I feel we all need to stand up for, that might be something that you feel strongly about. I feel strongly myself about human rights and climate change and things like that. So I reevaluated my work and I thought, I need to be putting stuff out there that has a purpose. You know, you start questioning, what am I doing? And that's where I was during all of this. So these paintings came out of that. And so I heal through mixed media. I feel strongly about texture and color. And so I put a lot of that into my work, and I experiment with a lot of different media. This particular piece here, the Warrior of Change, she has a very, you can't tell in the photo, but her halo glows, and it is, it's golden. And then the piece before this, the halo glows, and it glows in the dark at night. So you see it at night as well. So I put a lot of different mixed media in my work to express the emotion and the feeling that I have about the issue or what needs to be changed.
Beautiful. Thank you, Denise. These are wonderful.
Thank you.
I love all your explanation as well of it. Anit Kaur, are you here? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and read hers because I'm not sure if she is available today. I create my art to experience the peace and release of connecting with the higher power through creativity. I communicate the essence, power, and beauty of not just my religious beliefs, but also an escape from the pain of the human experience. I use acrylic paint to create visual and tactile texture and random patterns because I feel this represents the unpredictability of life. I use bright colors because I feel there's a pure beauty that exists in all of us that is sometimes covered in layers of pain. Allowing for the experience of a higher power essentially helps us to connect to the truest version of ourselves and humanity. Wow, I'm seeing a theme going on here. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay. Erica, are you available to speak about your work?
I am here and I will speak.
Okay, and I know there's an S missing. It's Erica S. Nazaro. I apologize.
Yes.
So please
So-
look her up on Instagram, Erica S. Nazaro.
Yeah, so I've been on Instagram for a very long time, probably since it started. And so if you do find an Erica Nazaro that's a real estate agent, that's not me. I have a lot of images of my art as well as food I eat and my loved ones. And yeah, so I'm really enjoying Instagram as a way to connect with people. And that's how I met you, Leah. And thank you so much for accepting my art in this show. I feel really honored to be a part of it. Really, really honored. A huge privilege.
Oh, we're happy that you're here. We have two pieces here. This one's Tree Spirits, and the other one that's here is Holding. Yeah, would you like to speak about them?
Sure. So I do it very similar to what other people are talking about. I also do emotional freedom techniques, and I care a lot about astrology, and I've always done landscapes, and recently it's shifted to being much more intuitive and much more emotional and much more coming from my heart. So with some meditation and with some going inside suddenly and being very, very playful with the materials, like really having fun with the materials, suddenly figures have been emerging in my landscapes. And also with a lot of personal work around my inner child, this one, Holding, just showed up. And it's kind of mysterious of whether she's holding herself or her inner child or her own child. And it's not supposed to be one way or the other. It's just supposed to be whatever the viewer wants to see in it. So I'm really honored to be a part of this. And thank you so much, Leah. Thank you, Becca, for also your contribution with all of this. And I love that women are from all over. This is a really exciting thing to be a part of. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm curious, what materials are you using here?
So I'm using, it's a process I do with my clients, women, children, people that I work with.
Mhm.
And we just pour water or spray water onto paper, usually thick multimedia paper, like mixed media paper,
Mhm.
sometimes watercolor paper. And then we just pour inks and watercolor, and we use Posca pens, which are kind of acrylic-ish.
Okay.
And I just mix all the media together. So I have a lot of fun with it. And I just let sort of the materials speak to me. So they come out in this. And so this is watercolor, ink, pen, and that's it.
Beautiful.
Ink.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. All right. So Fran is not available today, but I'm going to go ahead and read about her pieces. Heart Healing. This is an image I made in my trusty journal. It is a mixed media piece, which includes watercolor, pen, and further enhancement with iColor app. I made it after feeling hurt and confused following an argument. I took myself to a quiet spot by a river and just sat and breathed. I allowed my heart space to listen instead of trying to fix it. The image comes out of that sense of space, quiet, hurt, and healing. Afi, this is your piece. Would you be available to talk about it?
Sure, I can.
Great.
Actually, firstly, thank you, Leah, for organizing this. And yeah, this piece is, I had two pieces, but both of them are self-portrait. And the first one is an old one. It was sort of observation for me, the process I went through to make something 20 years ago, 20 years ago and recently. And this is mostly a recent one. And this one I learned more techniques. I was more, well, apparently I was more mature, and I expressed whatever came to me with no filter on the paper. And yeah, I believe that any shape or color or symbol which came out definitely has a meaning, right when I create it for me, or even later. So I go back and forth to my work and just figure out more stuff. Yeah.
And what materials are you using here as well?
Oh, this is mixed media, but mainly oil pastel and a watercolor on top, and a little collage, and yeah, some markers, a little.
Beautiful. Yeah, I think self-portraits are really important, especially if you do them, like you said, like do one really long time ago and then look at it to where you've come from and seeing where
And my old one, it took me about 2 years to finish that. It was oil and canvas, but this was made instantly, like in one sit. So
beautiful. Thank you, Afi.
yeah, there is.
This is Lisa's. It's called She's a Rainbow. She said, in the Creative Soul Society, we've been working through healing the chakras. I wrote a letter to my inner child in one of our meetups and painted this painting right after. I wanted to express visually my body, all aligned, centered, with balanced chakras radiating and shining bright like a rainbow. As I created this, I was healing and connecting with my human vessel, my body. I am safe in my body. Beautiful, Lisa. Lisa, would you like to talk any more about your painting? I know you want me to read about it. I'm not sure she's available to talk. Okay, she might not be available. Okay, that's fine. Awesome work. I'm loving the rainbow colors. Okay, Vicky, are you here?
Yes, I am here.
Wow, Ray, would you be able to talk about your crying Buddha?
Yeah, sure. Hi, and hi, Leah.
Hi.
So glad to be here with you today, and everyone else. This crying Buddha was created right in the middle of the pandemic. It was my first Buddha face, and basically, it's when I started painting again after 40 years of not doing anything with my art. So it was like one of the first ones one of the first things I created after these 40 years. And I guess the pandemic, it just gave me the feeling of that the world was crying, the sadness of, people dying and the fear and all of that going on was very intense in the 2020s. So that's the story of this Buddha. The tears are crystals, aquamarine crystals, and some gold leaf with acrylic. And that's it.
And then you put epoxy at the end, so it's like covered in epoxy?
Yes.
Like
Yes,
resin?
I covered it with resin. Yes.
Wow, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for submitting this. It's really powerful.
Thank you.
All right, is Maggie here? Not sure if she's here or not. Okay. This is Maggie Cowell. She's recognized through deep interest in both creativity and dreams at a young age with an interest in symbolism, mythology, and surrealism. Maggie received their bachelor's in visual art from Salisbury University in 2003. She received her master's in art therapy from Florida State University as a board certified art therapist. She has a master's level dream pattern certificate from the Sissy Institute. She lives in Columbus, Ohio in 2020 and works with individual adults in person and online in their Jungian oriented private practice, Chiron Art Therapy and columbusarttherapy.com. So she has a few pieces. This one is Ganesha. This is the Raven Queen. I've turned to art as an exploration and a conversation with my soul. I do not plan out my art as much as I listen to my intuition. Likewise, my part has become more playful with an expressive style and a brighter color palette. I ask myself the question, what do I see? I also sit with what may be stirring within me in response to the art. What is the art or the process telling me about myself? This is the genius spirit. I found that when the art is completed, another image is revealed under black light. Because I do not work in black light, these images cannot be seen during the painting process. My mentor and Jungian analyst, Muriel McGaffin, responded to my work, stating it was unconscious revealed, an apropos name for the process and current body of work. It says in 2023, Maggie starts training at the C.C. Young Institute of Zurich as a student training candidate. Wonderful. Is Kathy here today? Okay, so this is Kathy Nance, and the title of this piece is Play. This piece was healing for me because I was completely playing with no outcome, and I created something I didn't realize I could create. I'm an emerging artist and a multi-passionate creative. I'm a wife and mother of 3 children and 2 grandchildren living in Spring, Texas, a suburb of Houston. I feel blessed that my studio is based in my light-filled home where I'm able to take care of my family's needs. I'm inspired by many things, but especially through stories that I infuse through my photography, paintings, and other mediums I work with. Beautiful. I think I see angel wings in there. Okay, this is Sherry. Is Sherry here?
Hello,
Hey, Sherry.
I'm here.
Welcome.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, I'm so happy you're here. Would you like to tell us a little bit about your 2 pieces here?
Sure. This particular piece I turned in, this piece is probably about 30 years old. I'm calling it a self-portrait. Many years ago, I had been reading books by Alice Miller, and she had said that she had unlocked early trauma through her paintings, that she discovered her early childhood through her paintings. And I had actually studied art. I had gone to one of those performing arts schools and worked with artists. And instead of helping me, I became less creative after doing a program like that. And so this is something I did just to see, what it would reveal, to me. And I have to admit, I think for decades, I didn't really understand it. Like a lot of others here, I started doing art therapy during the pandemic. I guess because we were all locked down and had time to pick up a brush again, maybe. So, but this is one that it's sort of a touchstone for me, this particular one. I do feel like it reflected that particular time in my life, being a young adult, trying to make it on my own. I think it reflects a lot. So this one I just did this year. I think they're related. I feel like, oh, it's got that quote there. That I learned that quote because I feel like I used to draw with a lot of freedom as a child, and I lost it as I got older. And I always drew very realistically. As a child, I drew like an adult. Studying art, formally, I feel like I lost that ability to draw with freedom. And so now I try to not overthink what I'm doing. I just try to put down whatever's on, whatever color I'm feeling, whatever shape I want to put down. And it's been very freeing. I've really been enjoying this process. That's about all I have to say.
That's wonderful. And I love that you put the quote in there too. It took my whole life to paint like a child.
Yeah. And I feel that.
Yeah, definitely. And a few artists in here have said that. It's just like, it was healing when I allowed myself to play, just getting back into that inner child work and being okay with it. Right. So.
Exactly. Thank you.
Thank you. Holly, are you here, Holly? Not sure if she's here or not. Okay, I will read Holly's. It says, I love using collage because I find so much symbolism each part. The title is Life. I made this image recently to give my friend who found out she was going to be facing a huge challenge. I wanted to make something to tell her I loved her and that I was thinking about her. I wanted to create a bright, fun image that would make her feel happy and smile when she looked at it. After I began, I realized I was also processing so many feelings as I worked on it. I chose symbols that I felt restricted my friend's radiant, joyful energy, her sense of humor, and her love of life. I chose the umbrella to protect her, the moon to represent that this is a phase, the caterpillar and the butterfly to represent the transformation she was no doubt about to undergo, a tree, leaves, and other living creatures to depict growth, healing, and nature. This is Heather Lecomte. Are you here, Heather? Oh, she's here. Okay. This portrait is about painting myself with full moon eyes. Brimming with compassion, vulnerability, and connection has helped me heal a part of myself that has been afraid to be vulnerable in my waking life. We all sincerely desire to connect and be loved, human to human and life to life. Since completing this painting, I have been working to be more mindful of my moon language, and connecting with others in this way has been a gift. Oh, that's sweet. And I saw in the chat, someone said it was a new moon today. Fun. Akshiti. Don't think Akshiti is here. But if you are, please speak up. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and read Akshiti. This is SPSR composition. I made these paintings when I was healing my 3 lower chakras, the solar plexus, sacral, and root. Hence the name SPCR or SR, sorry. It is a channeling of energy through the 3 colors associated with those chakras, red, orange, and yellow, with a hint of green, the heart chakra, because I feel that any healing is incomplete without the heart chakra, without giving it the love. I truly believe that the heart chakra heals all. Okay, so this is Kim Taddeo. She was not able to be here. She let me know. I'm going to go ahead and read about hers. This is called Inner Pathways. Life is truly all the things, all the time. I spend a lot of my time pondering how to make it better. How can I make my small existence in this big world, in this flash of time? What could I possibly do to share my love? Breathe, remember, be, and create. I believe that we are all deeply connected in some sort of cosmic sparkle bubble. The earth has many reminders of this and is still, it's so easy to forget. We all forget. I hope my art can be one of those pathways to remembering, to imagination, an invitation to commune with something divine, which I believe we all are, and something magical to play, to dream, to remember joy. This is her other one called Sun Chaser Forever. So what if the idea of multiverse and multiple existences is just the existence of everyone and everything else? What if loving ourselves also meant loving everything and everyone, especially those who have forgotten? What if that love would help reawaken those? There are so many what ifs and whatnots. These are just some of the things that run through my mind. Still, I believe there's beauty everywhere, and creating is my way of moving through it, emptying a long day and challenging conversations, finding equanimity, accepting impermanence, finding inner iridescence, and radiating joy. Art is healing, and because there are reflections and spells and prayers and dreams remembered and portals to the abundant landscapes where our souls reside. Oh, I love her little writing. Right. Raquel, are you here?
Hi, yes, I'm here. Hi.
Oh, yay. Awesome. I think we have two pieces of yours. Would you like to
Yes.
talk about them?
Thank you. First of all, thank you. Beautiful work of everyone. Yeah, so these two pieces I did a few years ago when I applied to our exhibit. And well, to give you a little bit of background, so about in 2019, I started doing intuitive painting, and it was like I fell in love with it. It was like I felt a connection with like my inner being, like felt like I have found like a part of me that I have been looking for many years. So I continue practicing on my own. And then I applied for an art exhibit, and I said to myself, I really wanted to do 2 big paintings and then really embrace just that intuitive process. And that's what I did. I mean, I really took my time. There were so many layers on it. And what I really, really loved about it is like you can really see some of the initial layers, but then some of the newer layers are on it. And to me, one is trust and one is flow. I really felt in the flow when I was painting this pieces, particularly the blue one. I just felt very special to me. I knew the process when at the beginning, I usually just pick a couple of colors and then just go with the flow and continuation and keep adding more colors to it. With this one, I knew I wanted to start with blue. And I was going to use pink. Pink is one color that I use a lot in my paintings. And then the other one I knew I wanted to use started with green and then also some pink on it. And then the other colors, I really just go with what calls to me in the moment. So it is really a process of like connecting to like that intuitive part and really trusting and just following, allowing it to really guide you through it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I love the layering.
Yes.
Okay, is Amy Jane Williams here? No. Okay. This is one of her abstract pieces and it's called Healing is Not Abstract. She's a licensed therapist with her own practice, Amy Jane Williams Wellness, and creative brand Wanda Petunia. Amy loves transforming her personal challenges using creativity and helping others do that also. She has a course and community called Healing Through Creativity. All right. Jennifer's here. I saw her. You want to tell us a little bit about your work?
Sure. Hi, everyone. Like many others on this call, I also feel that my painting practice is very meditative. It's very healing. Watercolors is one of my most favorite medium. I fell in love with it over 20 years ago, and it's still my favorite to this day. I love all of the wisdom that the watercolors brings me. I really found I had to learn how to dance in harmony with the medium. It's a beautiful way to let go of control and really learn the wisdom of being in the flow. And much of my work is inspired by nature, the cosmos, the ocean. And I chose this piece because when I had originally posted it, what was really fun, the process for me is where I do my healing and energy work. And the really fun part is when I post stuff to see how people react to it. And because they're in different places and different times, people will resonate differently. And it's really fun to see how people react, whether it is I feel relaxed, or for this particular piece, I had people who were like scrying the piece like you would, like the clouds or something. And that's just really fun. And I always love to find the hidden hearts that appear in my artwork too. And thank you. I'm very excited to be here with everyone. And if somebody is interested, this piece is actually for sale. I just did not put that into Leah because I forgot.
That's okay. That's wonderful. Thank you, Jen.
Thank you.
Beautiful work. And Roshni, are you here?
I'm here. Hi.
Hi, would you like to tell us about your pieces? I think you have 2 pieces here. I can go back and forth.
Okay, sure. Hi, everyone. Thanks for appreciating my works, Leah, and having me part of this awesome exhibit. My name is Roshni. I work with kids, so I'm an occupational therapist and I specialize in pediatric care. And I do use a lot of art through my sessions, but that's how I teach my kids how to say my name. So yeah, these are digital pieces that I created back in 2021. And actually, I'm a multi-passionate creator. I grew up in Hollywood, California, so it's kind of inevitable to be multi-passionate, being surrounded by everything, including dance. I love dance. And I love photography. I love painting, and I utilize all these skills within my occupational therapy practice as well. But at some point, my skills stopped being for me and the practice, and just only for the practice. So I was losing a sense of where my visions were going for myself and where my healing was going. And I have a lot of complex ideas. I do a lot of research. I try to connect back to my culture. I try to connect back to the feminine within. But all my complex ideas seemed so overwhelming and daunting to do on a canvas. I just couldn't get it onto canvas. And then I was using a tablet for my occupational therapy practice with my kids, but never thought to use it for myself. So that's where these designs came into play. I invested in a tablet for myself in early 2021 and decided to play around with it. I took, a few YouTube videos here and there of like how to use Procreate even, but most of it was through self-play, self-taught of self-play. I love color, as you can tell. I try to put a lot of, as we all do through our art, we put our heart and soul into it. And this one, Radiate Roshni, my name is Roshni. My name actually means light. And so does my middle name. My middle name means flame, and I'm an Aries. So I don't know, all of this light coming all together seemed like it had to be part of my images. Radiate Roshni is really about radiating my authentic inner being. I felt very stifled as the youngest of 3 sisters growing up. I didn't feel like I had my own voice. I was always following everyone else's voice. So Radiate Roshni was kind of me, like really reaching in for that inner power to be brought out. And being connected with nature, I think really helps with that as well. Coming from Los Angeles, there's a bit of nature here and there, but you have to drive to it. Whereas now I'm in Florida and I'm just surrounded by the beauty of it. And I feel that really helped process grief and loss. I lost both my parents. So a lot is coming up through these pieces, and that's why they're so complex and multi-layered and vibrant. Cultures coming out through it as well, as you see through the mehndi, the henna in the hands, and the bangles. And then the other piece, desire Shanti, desire peace, is also a play on my Instagram name, Desi. Desi means South Asian Indian, but I'm more of a non-traditional Indian, so I put that Dezi. And so desire peace is just what we all really want in life, just peace. Peace for ourselves within, peace for our world. I even wrote Shanti. I'm learning Gujarati script. My husband's Gujarati, so I'm learning how to write, read, and speak Gujarati. And it's kind of, I love Easter eggs, so it's kind of hidden in that peace sign in Gujarati script, and it's just saying Shanti, peace. And again, there's that radiance kind of shining through as well, and same with the henna. And again, I love layered pieces. I love hiding Easter eggs in there. So if you look even closer, I use symbolisms, like the Om sign, a peace sign. I even threw in a little Rani, a little female queen, a little queen in the ring in this one, and in one of the fingers of the other one. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing all the details. There's a lot of details, and I can tell you put a lot of love and energy into it. I appreciate it.
Sorry, if you want to know more, please contact me.
Yeah, most definitely. That's why I wanted to put the Instagram handle so that we can connect with each other. Is Jackie here? Okay, so this is. Oh, you are, Jackie. Would you like?
You can read it though, because my eyes are.
Okay, sure. This is Petals and Puddles. These pieces come from a body of work that is a celebration of growth. For a long time, I felt I needed to conform to a style of work to define myself and stick to it. When I let go of the idea, I soon learned that I was thinking it had ultimately stunted me creatively, keeping me from discovering one of my purest forms of self-expression. I start with mark making, never with a plan or intention. I find this process liberating, spontaneous, and playful. So you have two pieces here, and this one's called Holidays. The artistic freedom has inspired my artist name. I now work under Jackie. I hope I'm saying that correctly.
Yes.
Okay, a childhood nickname that embodies the creative spirit. These pieces are where I lost and found myself again and again. They are places where I let go, gain control, and let go again, where I find my bliss, peace, and truth. These are the places where I bud, burst, and bloom.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Courtney, would you like to share about your owl? Oh, actually, and your other birds and dragonfly?
Sure. So there's a lot of words in this, so I'll just give you the rundown so you don't need to read it word for word. So this painting, similar to a lot of work I do, is kind of whimsical and starts one place and ends a completely different place. But this piece in particular, I called Guide Me to Truth. I actually was kind of working through some stuff that started with some dark clouds, and it evolved into a tree. And then I started adding these little symbols, these animal symbols that I kept seeing in nature, lots of birds, bird feathers everywhere I seemed to go. Even in like parking structures, there would be I'd open my car and there's a bunch of bird feathers on the ground next to me. So I started really just paying attention. And so this painting was evolving as I was doing some art therapy with Leah, actually. And then I had painted this, you can kind of see it near the key there. this bird's nest, and I was planning on putting some birds inside the nest, but it didn't get that far, and it was sitting in my easel for a couple weeks, and that bird's nest being empty just made me feel like kind of sad and empty a little bit. And during that same time, I was contemplating if I wanted to have kids. I'm getting to a sort of the age where it was not sure if that was going to be in my future or not. But seeing this empty bird's nest in this particular painting and having that reaction, I was able to then respond with myself and all these kind of like spirit animals that I kept seeing. As almost like it was guiding me to like, yes, I do want to be a mother. So not long after this, I found out I was pregnant. And so now I have a 5-month-old little boy, and I decided to leave the bird's nest empty, and I put a little key on it, on that branch, just since it was like so enlightening for me. So that's that about that piece. Pretty cool.
It's awesome. It's amazing. Makes me want to cry. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it was very helpful for me.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you, Courtney.
Thank you.
Pauline, I see your name down there. Would you like to talk about your piece? Oh, you just got to unmute. Can you unmute?
Hi.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi. I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you, Leah, for putting this all together. I feel quite blessed, actually, to be amongst this group of people. So thank you. This piece is called Stillness Within. She's a mixed media on canvas. I am a self-taught, actually, and I guess, truth be told, I kind of stumbled across art and creating through art journaling, because it was kind of like my kind of solitude and a bit of self-therapy, I guess, is kind of where this kind of all came from. But when I created this one, my focus for her was basically on technique. I wanted to learn about creating mixed media. I didn't have any intention of, this being a healing piece for me at all. But over time, like as I was working on her, I started to become more aware that the physical movement and the actual act of creating and putting stuff down was also bringing up a lot of internal dialogue that was coming up for me. So there was internal dialogue and movement going on there as I was working on the piece. Lots of thoughts and emotions and experiences were coming up, just the stuff. It was flowing quite a bit. And I realized that she was providing me with a safe space. She provided me with a space to actually experience all the stuff without having any fear of just expression or any fear. I didn't feel like I needed to hold back with anything. I could just sit with it. I could move it around. Life was rather chaotic for me at the time, and the background was kind of reflective of that, I think. But through working on her, I realized that I could express without actually having to say the words. I could have a voice, or I could give a voice to the stuff that I was feeling, without having to put it into words, or even when I was having difficulty finding the words. So she really helped me out a lot with that. She helped bring some calmness to me and some clarity, like I said, at a time when life was pretty chaotic. And at the same time, I was doing something, I was learning how to do mixed media, and I was doing something that was feeling good, and something that I was enjoying, and eventually became something that I was proud of. She also reminded me that, that I do have support, and that I am connected to so much, so much that's, greater than myself, yeah. So that's kind of like where I found the healing with her. Like I didn't have a plan. There was no plan of creating her or her turning out like this. It was just, she kind of showed up, and she showed up at a time when she was needed.
Thank you. I can definitely feel the stillness within. So thank you so much. Beautiful work.
Thank you.
Is Hope here? Okay, so she created an owl, kind of moving into 3D work now. We have a few more left. It says, art is a way life flows through me. I believe that all humans are creators and that the act of creativity is sacred in the sense that it is bringing something totally new into existence. For me, it is the way I explore the complexities of being human and the way I express myself and process my emotions. And Owl has been a companion for years, and I dreamed that this one for months before I finally allowed her to flow through me. So this one was made out of felt. This is my husband's work. I wish he was here, but he is planning his father's birthday. It's happening right now. So he was the first person to apply to this show. So I was so excited. He is a ceramicist, and this is called The Journey of Exploration. It says, making art is often a way for me to just heal, let go, and have fun. The process is just as important as the finished piece. Making art allows me to tap into creativity, to find new and interesting ways to express myself. So he makes a ton of work and he does not show it. And so this is kind of like my push of put your work out there. So hopefully you'll see more of his work soon. Chelsea, we have a few pieces by Chelsea. Are you able to talk about your work?
Yeah, sure. I'm Chelsea Havman. I'm an artist and an art therapist in Fort Myers, Florida. So I've experienced the deeply healing nature of art making myself, and also, of course, through my clients in my art therapy practice. So these pieces are paper weavings, and as others have said, they kind of integrate mindfulness practice. Art making itself is inherently mindful practice, but I actively try to remain in that kind of meditative state while I create these. And I don't plan ahead of the order of things. I just kind of take whichever strips kind of are feeling right. And I handmade the paper in these, the marbled paper, through a water marbling technique. And then there's also some vellum in there and some holographic paper too. So, and they're in these acrylic frames. I don't think I told Leah the size. They're 5 by 7 in the frames. So
beautiful. I love the little rainbows that are like shooting out of there.
Yeah, they're very iridescent, and it's hard to capture it in a photo, but they really have that reflective nature. So that's where my title came from. Reflection is the inner reflection that comes from creating them, as well as the actual reflective nature of the marble and the water marbling and the holographic paper too.
Awesome. Can't wait to see this series continue. It's growing. Oh, sorry, I keep going the wrong way. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is our last artist, Cassandra Beard. Are you here?
Yes, I am.
Oh, wonderful. This work is so fun. I felt this way today,
Yes.
this morning.
Don't we all at some point?
Yeah, I have a few pieces of your work, Domestic Duties. Would you like to tell us a little bit about your inspiration?
Yeah, I can just read my artist statement and then I'll talk a little bit about it. So my work represents my frustrations with domestic life, communicating the raw and filtered side of how sometimes my anxiety and motherhood coincide. The inspiration comes from the daily battles I have in a typical day as a mother. Usually after a full day of work, when I'm already exhausted, my domestic duties are seemingly never ending, and the sound of toys and arguing children burst through my house. And these are the times, especially when my anxiety is high, that I experience a lot of self-doubt and become easily overwhelmed. So really, the inspiration from all of this work comes from mom guilt, which I think even if you're any type of parent, a dad, a grandparent who's in charge, you get that overwhelming sense of guilt of, am I doing enough? Am I providing the best life for my children on top of all of the other domestic duties that we have to do all the time? So kind of being tormented by those hardships. And really the idea from this work came from taking things that you find in an average home, and just whenever all of those things become too much and overwhelming, you just kind of want to crumple it up and throw it away. So putting that into the gallery and on the wall. So really my artistic process, I always say my sketchbook is more of a diary. So I do a lot of free writing. And then from there, I kind of have a few rushed, thrown out sketches is everywhere, but really I like playing with the material specifically. So I'll get 15 mops and play with shape and form and really get down to the basics and blare loud music. And that's really where I release all of my frustrations and anxieties, is through my work.
Oh, it's wonderful. I think it's great. I think it makes me laugh when I look at it, because I feel that way. I'm sure there's a lot of other people here that feel that way too, that just break it.
I hope so.
That's a lot of fun. Oh, thank you, Cassandra. I appreciate you sharing this with us. It's definitely healing, especially when we can laugh about our work too.
Thank you so much.
All right, so that was our last artist. I am so honored to put this show together. I think all the work was just truly amazing. I put my email on here. You are welcome to email me if you have questions, or if you want to contact the artist, if you want to buy art, or if you just want to send them a message. Be sure to follow their Instagram accounts and connect with each other, and let them know like if the work spoke to you and how you feel connected to it. But that is all. I'm going to stop my share, and I just want to say congratulations to everyone that is here and that participated in the show, and thank you for those of you who showed up and showed your support. So thank you, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Awesome.